What's happening, everybody? Trey here, and today reactions to the classics going to be bringing you a full album reaction to Ryan Adams' highly acclaimed record Love Is Hell, all the way back in 2004. I want to shout out our longtime patron and friend of the channel, Josh, for bringing this suggestion today, man. He also compiled a Ryan Adams top 10 list probably like a year and a half ago now, so you can go and check that out. I'll also be sure to link that at the end of this video, man. But without further ado, let's just jump into these quick facts here. Ryan's fifth studio record, as I said, released in May of 2004. In 2002 and 2003, Adams worked on recording this record, intending to release it actually in 2003. Lost Highway Records deemed that it was not commercially viable and was reluctant to release it, leading to Ryan to go back to the studio. 2 weeks later, he returned to Lost Highway with the album Rock and Roll. Adams and Lost Highway Records eventually agreed that the label would release Rock and Roll as well as Love Is Hell on the condition that Love Is Hell be split into 2 EPs. Rock and Roll and Love Is Hell Part 1 were released in November of 2003, followed by Love Is Hell Part 2 in December, and in May of 2004 it was re-released as a full-length album. So kind of a odd release. I haven't really come across that before, where they split the album up in 2 and then just put it all together like 6 months later or whatever. But hey, man, I guess it was the mid-2000s, anything went. Adams described the album as sounding, quote, a lot like Heartbreaker, but better and more severe. It's complex and it's damage, and he stated that it was the record he needed to make. In a 2007 interview, he noted that he loves to play songs from the album live, and that the songs are usually the tunes the Cardinals and myself get really excited about when they come up in the set. Ryan, of course, talking about the group he's associated with, Ryan Adams and the Cardinals. Some great music that they have made through the years as well. Very critically acclaimed from publications such as NME, Rolling Stone, and Mojo. Ryan Adams, singer-songwriter, wrote all of these aside from the cover of Wonderwall, of course. I know Wonderwall and maybe 1 or 2 other tracks Josh has brought to a live stream, but nothing, as a whole I've ever listened to, man. So excited to dive into it. Love great lyricists, and Ryan Adams definitely falls into that. So I know this is one of Josh's, if not his favorite from Ryan Adams, 5-star, he said. So I'm looking forward to that too, man. So without further ado, we got 16 tracks, and I'm ready to jump into it, man. Due to copyright, the music will not be in this video, but it will be on Vimeo, so you can check out the link down below, man. And I guess with all that said, let's jump into it with the first track, Political Scientist. There's some notes on a few of these, but not a lot out there, honestly, on this record. So it's always going to have the lyrics pulled up. Follow along, and we'll go from there, man. So thanks again to Josh, and let's get Love Is Hell underway. Man, Political Scientist starting this record off on a strong note for sure. Musically, I found it interesting how it was so low-key, really just kind of the piano driving the first couple minutes of the song before the bass and then the guitar kind of ramp up midway through, as well as Ryan's vocal deliveries kind of take that next step. And I like kind of the metaphor Ryan's using as a political scientist, like somebody who knows the ins and outs of the governments from all different types of the world, and kind of how they relate to each other. It seems like that's used as a metaphor for a relationship in real life here. He kind of uses the kind of pollution metaphors in the first verse here, and then as he moves on, he switches to the woman in the story. So now she's crawling on her hands and her knees, dirtying her jeans, choking on her own perfume. Really great description throughout this whole song, in my opinion, to kind of just play out this situation in your mind. With a pen, she writes below the sink in someone's restaurant, this place is inconvenient for my name. And then the chorus switches a little, she forgets to write it anyway. The government supplies the cocaine, political scientist, there's no guarantees. Later on, we get some insight that her husband's divorced, but he treats her that way, of course, because he needs her just like he needs medicine. It seems like there's a sense almost where maybe 2 countries, maybe that's where the political scientist nature comes in, where even though it's a bit rocky, so to speak, and there's a lot of tension there, you just hope it doesn't fully bubble over, so to speak, because at the end of the day, you both need each other to kind of stay stay steady, stay whole, so to speak. I could be off, but hey, man, this is a authentic first time reaction. So that's just what I'm getting off first listen. So enjoyed that, and now we're gonna go up to Afraid Not Scared. Cool album or cool song title. So let's hear what we got. All right, Afraid Not Scared. What a awesome track that was, man. Loved everything about this one, from the again, just the musical backing, just really that acoustic guitar again for the first half of the song before the ending. Guitar just kind of was soaring there by I believe in Johnny McNabb here. Who knows? I know Ryan plays guitar as well, but that's who's listed as the lead guitar here. So shout out to him, man. I thought that was just great, and again, using kind of a metaphor, kind of great imagery, placing us in a shipwreck type situation. Ryan just sets that in that first verse, man, and again, kind of putting that in his with his love here, in bed with somebody, a touch away with nothing to do, we're surrounded, and then we get that chorus, I'm really dying in here and I'm afraid, but then he switches it, no, I'm scared, and then his girl starts to die, man. He really has some great imagery in that. She started freezing, lungs all collapsing, just brutal, man. The momentum is passing, but the moment is eating us whole. He continues to go and say, no, I'm scared. No, I'm scared. I'm just scared. Just let me down. He wants out of the situation. And then that ending, I'm getting really cold and I'm looking at you. You're not moving. So obviously she has passed away, and his time is, probably coming soon. And this is his last moments and memories. Very brutal, very bleak type of song. And yet it sounded so pretty at the same time. So really impressive effort right there. And now we're going to move up to This House Is Not For Sale. All right, This House Is Not For Sale. Another really great track right here, man. A bit more lighthearted than our first couple tunes, and yet still has a bit of just that deadly nature to it. Is from what I'm interpreting, these are spirits that used to be their house, or ghosts, whatever you want to call it, man. And almost confused to the sense of, well, what in the world? Why are they taking our things out of here? What's going on? And that's where I think you get the title. Tell them that the house is not for sale, man. This is ours. What's going on? The chorus very simple. Just calm down, calm down, calm down. But the way Ryan sung that, it did have that calming, just very relaxing effect to it, going along with the guitar that he was playing in the midst of that. And I kind of like the reminiscing in verse 2, where they remember when we bought this thing, I danced you across the wooden floor, and he signed the lease. Just that beauty of life that can then obviously get taken away, so to speak. And they note in here, we could grab a couple sheets, give them quite a scare, maybe leaning into that ghost type of interpretation, so to speak. But all that to say, man, really impressive track right there. Probably is going to end up amongst my favorites, but hey, man, that we got a long ways until then. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself as we go up now to Anyone Want to Take Me Home. So this one was included, interestingly enough, on both the rock and roll record and of course this, although in different versions. The rock and roll version had fade ins and fade outs and was a little bit shorter, whereas this one takes away the fade in effects and is about 45 seconds longer. So let's cue this one up. What a track, man. Anyone Want to Take Me Home? This album is man, Josh, you chose well, man. This album is off to such a great start, and this might be the best track of them all. I know we're only 4 tunes in. I thought the almost jangly like guitar was a great compliment to the very self-aware kind of self-deprecating lyrics at points right here. He starts off the song with the phrase, I'm in the twilight of my youth, which I think just sets the tone lyrically for what the rest of the song had in store here. He continues to go on. He says, the people dancing in the corner, they seem happy, but I am sad. He just kind of envisioning a guy who's in the party, but is still kind of withdrawing into himself here, wondering why he can't have what these other people had. I love the line, I'm still dancing in the coma of the drinks I just had. And he asked, does anyone want to take me home? Take me to your house and I'll leave you alone. He says, it seems so tragic, but it disappeared like magic. And then he says, can you recommend an education or drugs? A lot of time the drugs or the drinks appear throughout this song as a way it seems to escape this guy's loneliness, so to speak. And he again brings up the the twilight of his youth. He says, all these people in my life, well, they seem so in love. Well, I am not. Memorizing my shoes in a cigarette shop. Now my guy's in a cigarette shop. He's just seemingly looking for anything or anyone to kind of soothe his downtrodden nature, so to speak, man. But all that to say, really enjoyable song right here, man, and my favorite of the bunch so far. But next up, we have the title track here, Love Is Hell. Only 3 minutes and some change, so shorter tune. And let's see what we got. Kind of had almost like with the arrangement, almost like an alternative, rock country blend to it in a sense here, man. And I thought it was cool how there was almost like a personal touch here with the names that were dropped. I mean, I doubt these were actually, people in Ryan's life, but hey, maybe inspired. He knows she's pretty. Jesse's spinning the tunes, eyelashes, and some white leather boots. God, what have I been drinking? Every verse kind of comes back to that age-old question, man. What have I been drinking? Why is this room spinning around me, so to speak? He notes, man, love is hell. Love is hell. He really felt that that vocal in the chorus, especially, man. I thought it again worked well with the instrumentation, all kind of crescendoing up right there, and I thought the line, "I could be serious, but I'm just kidding around. I could be anything, nothing, whatever. Oh well." Just kind of that despondency in the lyricism there is felt by just the fact that this guy's kind of down and out, man. Love is hell. So I dug that one, man. And now we're gonna go up to the most famous song off of this cover of Wonderwall, of course, originally done by Oasis, written by Noel Gallagher, released as a single. Noel once said, I never got my head around this song until I went to see Ryan Adams play, and he did an amazing cover of it. The song earned Ryan a Grammy nomination for Best Solo Rock Vocal Performance. I do know this one, as you can see, man. I already got that patented heart on it here on Spotify. So let's kick back and enjoy this. Wonderwall, man. I enjoyed this cover version because it's much more restrained than the original, and just really stripped back. Of course, just essentially with that acoustic guitar, almost have like a keyboard just kind of droning lightly in the background at points as well. Whereas the Oasis version, though it is a great song in its own right, it's kind of cool to see this a bit more in an intimate environment, if you will, instead of after all. In the Oasis version, Ryan kind of takes all that over the top nature of the delivery and really just sings it quiet and soft, and I think it adds a that level of closeness possibly to the tune, whereas the original maybe is more passionate. In a sense, this is more kind of longing, I think, for that Wonderwall, so to speak, man. So I thought Ryan did a really good job on this cover, man, and I mean it's one of his most streamed songs here on Spotify for a reason, and that is going to take us now to the Shadowlands. Let's get another phenomenal track here, the Shadowlands. A very hard-hitting story here, detailing out addiction, man, and just a lovely 2-minute plus instrumental to finish out the song as well, especially that guitar, that those guitar licks at the very end were quite impressive, man. You had the violin, just everything about the instrumental at the end was on point, man. But the lyricism is just phenomenal in this track, man. Talking about I'm pleading, God, please bring the rain. Yeah, bring it soon. Let it flood right through the houses into Judy's room. With a father on amphetamines, her mother hides the pearls. Reach out into the darkness and find my little girl. Obviously this father's gone down into addiction, and the way Ryan's able to detail out how that has affected the family and the brokenness that has brought in. Talking about throwing down the wedding rings into the sewer. Just it seems to get worse and worse as each verse went in, and the father here's just knowing that he's kind of gone, and hoping that the wife can be saved in a sense, man. And he knows most people never find a love. Sometimes you just can't be a man when you're living in the darkness of the Shadowlands. A phenomenal way to end out that entire song. I think that just kind of sums up the whole theme of the track in a very poetic way, so to speak. speak, man. So yet again, another really strong song here. The first half of this album is just great, man. And we're gonna finish the first half of this record out with World War 24. Hopefully we don't reach 24. We got 22 to go until then, man. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But let's see what Ryan has in store for us here. All right, World War 24 here, man. Not a top tier track, but still really solid. I think showing how strong this record is, man. From what I'm getting here, yet again, as with a lot of the songs, and I think the theme obviously of the record being titled "Love Is Hell" is those relationships. Here, it seems like they both are maybe getting into possibly substances, drugs, whatever the case may be, especially as the song progresses and whatnot. And it seems like this guy really might love her more than she loves him, so to speak. We get the whole title. She don't even ask what time it is anymore, dressed up like it's World War 24. I'd love to know why Ryan chose that. That's just such a odd type of song title. But hey, man, it worked. It worked. And, we get the whole London motif in there as well. He notes, coma comes like bullets from a candy gun, delivers us into the sun. And he notes, if we get too high, we'll burn this town. We'll burn this down. Oh, baby, bring me down. I'm all yours. I'm all yours. And he sings that outro with a real kind of yearning sense here that he'd do anything kind of for this girl right here, man. So good song right there. And now we're going to move up to the second half of the record as we go now to Avalanche. 5 minutes long. Let's hear what we got. All right, Avalanche, continuing kind of that downtrodden lyrical content that we have here, man. We're introduced, Ryan says he, is going through, finds a photograph in a cardboard box in a magazine. Can't remember you, remember us or anything, but I taught you how to feel, but you just feel numb. The implication being that I think that Ryan here feels numb, and if he's going to teach someone else how to feel, then all they'll be able to feel is numb as well. It's kind of switched later on in the song where he says they taught us how to feel, but we just feel numb. So almost like this recurring cycle of numbness that just gets taught and brought down from one person to another, so to speak, man. And then we get that avalanche. You just think in your mind just a mass disaster, destruction type of thing. She comes apart in the avalanche, fades out like a dance, crawls back into bed when it's over, when it's over, when it's over. Instrumentally, again, had a really strong melody with that piano in particular. Just kind of added a sense of melancholy to the lyrics, which definitely were already heading down that road themselves, man. So another solid tune, even if it might not end up amongst my favorites, so to speak. Maybe could have cut a minute off, but hey, man, I'm just nitpicking there. And now we're going to go up to My Blue Manhattan. Go from one of the longer tunes to, I believe, the shortest on here at only 2:22. So let's get it. All right, My Blue Manhattan, continuing the theme of love and relationship that's obviously all throughout this record here, taking a little different, bent at it here as he talks about My Blue Manhattan, and then he characterizes her as being angry, a bit temperamental, and they're kind of clashing, at odds and conflict with each other. But then you get those moments of reprieve and really sexually here, man. The car's in the Midtown, stone cold in sheets with you all over me, ain't that sweet, my little gal. And then he goes into the second verse again, talking about the conflict, making snow angels in the gravel and the dirt, crawling like a spider. I'm somewhere inside her, too hurt to move, too hurt to move. So even this, I think, physical type of a release and relationship here isn't enough to probably overcome the actual, hardships that they are having with each other emotionally and as people, so to speak. But hey, that's I know a lot of relationships are like that, man. So I think that Ryan again is showcasing his maturity in this and attacking the relationships in all different facets and angles, so to speak. So I enjoyed that one more than Avalanche. Not that I'm going to compare it to every song on the record, but I thought it made the most use of its time, man, and the strings in there were really strong as well. So now we're going up to Please Do Not Let Me Go. Sounds like it'll be a cheery jam, so let's get it. All right, Please Do Not Let Me Go. One of my favorites on this. I just loved everything about this song. Here, I think the breakup has obviously happened, man, and just that kind of sadness that's permeating every aspect of this guy's life. He's just alone in his room and, wonders, I wonder what the walls in the room would say if they could talk, man. He's really just vulnerable in the vocals here, Ryan is. And man, that's felt. It's earnest here. I like the lyrics. I'm all alone now. I can do as I please. I don't feel like doing much of anything. Ooh. Then the chorus here, he says, true love ain't that hard to find. Not that you will ever know. But then he switches gears and says, would you lay here for a while? Please do not let me go. And that second chorus comes in, true love ain't that hard to find. Not that either one of us will ever know. So now he's including himself in that phrase here. And again, yearns for her to lay beside him, man. I just thought that heartbreak was so apparent and just so well done on this song, man. Really felt the emotions that Ryan was trying to bring forth here, man. And I thought it was great. One of my favorites for sure. And so now we'll cue on up. City Rain, City Streets. Right. City Rain, City Streets, man. What a gut punch this song was, especially in the latter half of it, man. Here you have a bit more of an upbeat type of song. Musically, I thought the drumming performance was just phenomenal. Some of the best drumming on the record up to this point, man. And Ryan here again sets the stage. You can tell he's a bit agitated at points. He says he's in a city bed out of his effing head. He says it's snowing in space. God, I wish I could talk to you. He continues to build around this snow metaphor, so to speak. And then towards the end, he says, I forgot to ask, genius in a hospital bed, it just isn't fair. Taking bullets for a team of bad poets. How is it up there? Then he says and calls out, I really miss you. I really miss you. I effed you over 1,000,000 times. He repeats that refrain and he says, and you died, you really died. I don't know if this is any personal, connection to Ryan and, his personal life. And in any case, you really did, as the listener, feel that heartbreak, man. Probably the most heartbreaking song on the record, just lyrically. And I think it's brought to a head whenever he's just, singing that out. I effed you over 1,000,000 times and now you died. That means, man, I won't get a chance to reconcile with you. And that's really tough to deal with, man. That's really tough to deal with. So I was, yet again, really impressed by just the honesty that Ryan showed on this track. So now that's going to take us to I See Monsters. Right, I See Monsters, bringing it, man. Yet again, I think this side is showing of the relationship where you have your own inner demons, your own monsters, so to speak, and that other person, was one of the few, if only, bright spots in your life, man. And I thought that the delivery was just such a soft and a pretty delivery by Ryan here, so to speak, where he notes, people are screaming, my baby, she's dreaming, people are shouting, people are freaking, I'm staring at the ceiling, waiting for the feeling. And then he notes, whenever she calls to him, that makes him want to kind of live life, get stronger and whatnot, but still in that, he's still seeing the monsters around him, so to speak. I just thought that mixed with the strings in there added a touch of kind of sadness and whatnot to the track as well. So yet again, man, that's like, I don't know, 4 songs in a row I've hit the hard on, man. Really strong effort, and we still have 3 songs left, and now we're gonna go to English Girls Approximately, which features the great Marianne Faithfull on backing vocals here. So I'm curious to hear how this one sounds. Right, English Girls Approximately, bringing it here, man. Ryan really leaning into some of that country type of drawl on the vocal delivery and even the instrumentation in a sense here. And I was seeing here, it's apparently about his breakup with the ex-girlfriend, Beth Orton. So I'm assuming she was English, man. So that kind of makes sense a little bit with the song. Just a breakup song if I've ever heard one, man, so to speak. Ryan just really detailing out kind of some of the idiosyncrasies in their relationship, and how hurt he is, man. The chorus said, you didn't love me, it was right on time, I was just about to tell you, but okay, all right. English girls can be so mean. He continues to describe her, in the use of a bunch of similes, metaphors, whatnot. Tall drink of water, she's a Norfolk waterfall. Fall time coming, and I guess my little bird can sing, man. Shout out to the Beatles for teaching me what a bird was in the UK, man. With Andrew Bird Can Sing from Revolver. And he even calls her out, come on Elizabeth, come on Bethany, come on further, I'm tired and I want to sleep. My little dove flew and I guess she was done with me. Ooh, poor yeah, man, that's just and he notes later on, I ain't never been good enough to ever keep around. And the song kind of climaxes at the very end, just said, just 3 words, my love, you meant everything, you meant everything. Ryan's heart is over here and broken, man. Can he pick up the pieces? Really, really strong song here. And now we're going to go to Thank You, Louise. Less than 3 minutes here. Let's hear what we got. Again, pretty melody as with most of the songs on here. We're kind of building up this character of Louise here, of Mary Louise, as just a really good person. She pays for somebody at the register. She gives a mother her kid back that she had lost. Just really a stand-up person, so to speak. But then that third verse all comes, kind of to a bleak head, so to speak. Her daughter goes, cops drugs. Her brother lay upon the bed with busted teeth and broken head, and he hears the phone and he knows his brother's dead. So I guess another brother. So all her kids, have their own issues and whatnot to deal with. And yet I guess you can look on a positive side. Mary is Louise is still joyful and there to help others out in the world, so to speak. So a nice penultimate track right here as we're gonna finish out the record with Hotel Chelsea Nights. Give this one a spin, and then afterwards give my favorite thoughts and overall score of this fantastic album. Hotel Chelsea Nights, ending this off on a really strong note. Definitely had that feel of a closer. I enjoyed the guitar solo that was in the middle of the track, man. Very passionate. The female backing vocals gave it a bit of that choir gospel flair to it, and there's almost like a little bit of a reverb or some type of vocal effect for Ryan here as well. Felt like we were right in studio with him, I guess. And again, just trying to get over this gal, man. He's definitely down and out, so to speak, as he has been on a lot of these tracks. The whole strung out like some Christmas lights out there in the Chelsea night, I think it's just such a great couplet in the chorus right there. And he kind of switches from being sad to being like, you know what, maybe it was you who didn't read me right type of deal. So you have all those different types of emotions that you go through in a breakup. And man, really great song to end us off. And I'll go now, I guess, too, speaking of my favorite tracks. As I'm looking here, 16 songs, I gave 11 of them hearts, man. So first listen, that's really, really strong, man. So no particular order. I enjoyed this House Is Not For Sale. I thought the whole ghost type of storytelling in that was cool. Anybody Want to Take Me Home, probably the best track on here. The Shadowlands, another contender for that as well. Wonderwall cover. I really enjoyed I See Monsters. I thought that was strong. English Girls, approximately, and then Hotel Chelsea Nights. Overall score on this thing, man. Ryan really impressed me on this album. Definitely the best Ryan Adams record or any affiliation, if you want to throw the Cardinals in, that I've heard. Just the songwriting on this was fantastic. Loved the arrangement, just kind of going pretty low key on a lot of these tracks. Kind of leaning into that alt rock, even country rock type of sphere on certain songs. Especially in the latter half of the record, had the strings, which added to the melancholic nature of the album. The theme of heartbreak and relationships and love throughout all of these songs, just in different kind of different little glimpses, so to speak. So and with 16 songs, man, it didn't feel like it was an over hour-long record, man. There was enough to dissect in the lyrics and the arrangements to keep it fresh, keep it interesting. So really impressed with this effort, man. Cheers to Josh for bringing it to the channel today. So I'm going to be at like an 8.5, 8.75 for me on this record, coming in really hot. And this is one I'm looking forward to revisiting for sure, man. So thanks again to Josh for bringing this. Let me know your favorite tracks and thoughts on Love Is Hell down in the comment section below. Be sure to give it a big thumbs up and hit that big red subscribe button so you don't miss out on more videos we have in the future. If you'd like to have us do a reaction for you, you can check out our Patreon page, which will be linked below as well as at the end screen, so you can check that out if you like. But until next time, y'all, that'll wrap it up. Thanks for watching, happy listening, and I will see ya.